Imagine waking up tomorrow with a burning fever, crushing weakness, and pain spreading through your body. Now imagine something even stranger. No doctor, no hospital, no medicine, no internet, no idea what is happening to you. For most of human history, that wasn't imagination. It was reality. Today, when we get sick, we usually know where to turn. We search for symptoms, take medicine, or visit a healthcare professional. Even if we don't know the exact problem, we understand that diseases have causes and treatments. But thousands of years ago, people had none of that knowledge. When someone suddenly became ill, there was often no visible explanation. No wound. No animal attack. No obvious reason. One day a person was healthy, and the next they could barely stand. To ancient humans, sickness felt mysterious and frightening. Since they couldn't see the true cause, many cultures created explanations based on the world they understood. Some believed evil spirits were responsible. Others thought illness was a message from powerful gods. Across different civilizations, people developed unique stories to explain why healthy bodies suddenly failed. Surprisingly, these beliefs reveal something important about human nature. Even though their explanations were incorrect, they recognized that something unseen was affecting the body. They knew an invisible force seemed to be causing suffering. What they didn't know is that the real enemies were microscopic organisms such as bacteria, viruses, and parasites. That discovery would not come for thousands of years. Yet humans refused to accept illness without a fight. Long before science, long before medicine, and long before anyone understood germs, people began searching for answers. They experimented, observed, and tried everything they could think of to help the sick survive. And that determination would eventually change the course of human history. If ancient people didn't have doctors who helped them when they became sick, the answer takes us back tens of thousands of years. The earliest healers were not medical professionals in the modern sense. They were respected members of their communities. People believed to possess special knowledge, wisdom, or a connection to forces beyond ordinary understanding. These healers performed rituals, offered guidance, and attempted to restore health in whatever ways they knew. To modern eyes, many of their methods may seem unusual, but they served an important purpose. They gave people hope, and hope can be surprisingly powerful. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence that reveals something remarkable about our ancestors. Ancient burial sites contain the remains of individuals who suffered severe injuries, broken bones, damaged limbs, and physical conditions that would have made survival extremely difficult. Yet many of those injuries had healed. That means these people didn't survive alone. Someone cared for them. Someone brought food, offered protection, and helped them recover during weeks or even months of weakness. Long before hospitals existed, humans were already caring for one another. But perhaps the most astonishing discovery involves a practice known as trepanation. Scientists have found ancient skulls containing carefully cut holes made thousands of years ago. Even more surprising, many of those skulls show signs of healing around the edges. In other words, the patient survived. Think about that for a moment. Without modern anesthesia, advanced tools, or scientific knowledge, ancient humans attempted a procedure involving the human skull, and sometimes it worked. Why did they do it? No one knows for certain. Some researchers believe they were trying to relieve pain, treat injuries, or release what they believed was causing illness. Whether their theories were correct or not, one thing is clear. Our ancestors were not passive victims of disease. They experimented, adapted, and searched relentlessly for solutions. The history of medicine did not begin with laboratories. It began with human beings refusing to stop trying. While healers performed rituals and communities cared for the sick, another important discovery was quietly changing human history. People began paying attention. They noticed patterns. Over generations, humans learned that certain plants seemed to affect the body in specific ways. Some eased pain. Some reduced swelling. Others appeared to help wounds recover more quickly. No one understood chemistry or biology, but observation became one of humanity's greatest tools. Imagine a hunter suffering from a fever. Someone gives him a particular plant, and after a few days he feels better. The next time someone becomes sick, the same plant is used again. If it helps repeatedly, the knowledge is remembered. Parents teach children. Elders teach younger generations. Communities pass information forward. Slowly, a collection of practical medical knowledge begins to grow. This process happened across the world. Different cultures experimented with local plants, roots, herbs, and natural substances. Some remedies turned out to be ineffective. Others proved surprisingly useful. One famous example is willow bark. For centuries, people used it to reduce pain and fever without knowing why it worked. Much later, scientists discovered that willow bark contains compounds related to the active ingredients that inspired modern aspirin. The people who first used it had no microscopes and no laboratories. They simply observed results. The same story can be found with many natural remedies used throughout history. Human beings were constantly testing ideas, learning from experience, and sharing successful treatments with others. Of course, not every remedy was beneficial. Some traditions survived because people believed in them, not because they actually worked. Mistakes were common, and many treatments failed. But that is how knowledge grows, through trial and error. Every success taught a lesson. Every failure revealed something new. Without realizing it, ancient humans were laying the foundation for the medical discoveries that would come thousands of years later. The road to modern medicine didn't begin in a laboratory. It began in nature, guided by curiosity, observation, and the determination to understand the human body. Not every ancient treatment came from plants or physical remedies. Sometimes, healing came from something less tangible. People gathered around the sick. Families stayed close. Communities offered comfort, encouragement, and support during moments of fear and uncertainty. To modern observers, these actions may seem simple, but they mattered. When someone was ill, they were rarely left completely alone. Friends sat beside them. Relatives cared for them through long nights. Entire communities often shared the responsibility of helping vulnerable members survive. What ancient people didn't know was that emotional support can influence the body in powerful ways. Today, researchers understand that stress affects physical health. Feelings of safety, connection, and care can reduce anxiety and improve overall well-being. The human mind and body are deeply connected. In a way, our ancestors discovered this long before science could explain it. Of course, modern medicine has transformed human life. Vaccines prevent diseases that once devastated entire populations. Antibiotics treat infections that were once deadly. Advanced imaging allows doctors to see inside the body without surgery. Procedures that would have seemed miraculous a few centuries ago are now routine. Yet despite all these advances, one thing has never changed. People heal best when they feel supported. Medical treatment matters enormously, but compassion matters too. The most advanced technology in the world cannot replace the comfort of knowing someone cares about your survival. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson hidden within humanity's long struggle against disease. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans faced illnesses they could not see, understand, or fully explain. They lacked scientific knowledge, modern hospitals, and effective medicines. But they possessed something equally important. They refused to give up. Generation after generation, people searched for answers. They experimented, learned from mistakes, shared knowledge, and cared for one another through suffering. That relentless determination eventually led to every medical breakthrough we enjoy today. So the next time you recover from an illness, remember this. Modern medicine is one of humanity's greatest achievements, but it exists because countless generations before us kept trying to heal each other, even when they had no idea what they were fighting. And without their persistence, our story might have ended long ago.